All right, everyone. Welcome. Fifth Corner Pod, episode one, pilot episode. Very excited to be here with you today. My name is Gabe Caprellian. I am 1 year out of school at BC from Albany, New York. A little background about myself. Very excited to share the stage with my co-host, who I'll turn it over to right now. He can introduce himself, and then we'll get going.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Zach O'Brien, better known as Obi to friends. I'm 1 year out of school as well. I'm an accounting major, hopefully getting a job somewhere in the field. Right now, I'm working across the street at Marshall's. Good gig, but a little bit about me. Swing back to Gabe here.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're very excited. This is something that we've been thinking about doing for a while now. Finally, came to fruition here in the last month or so, getting it all set up. Hopefully, you guys enjoy. Yeah, for all our friends and family, obviously we know him as Obi, but to all the new listeners, Zach, you can call him Obi though. Don't be afraid when you're sending your questions and whatnot. So, a little bit about why we want to do this. I mean, I back when I was a freshman, I actually went to school at Temple University for a year, and I was a broadcast journalism major. And so this is kind of just like a passion project. You know, we both have other jobs during the day, during the week. I'm a history teacher, but this is something that we thought would be fun, something we want to do. So I'm very excited to kind of hop on here once a week and kind of give you guys the lowdown on what's going on in the world, some funny stories, some good laughs, some good times, and hopefully, build a little bit of something here that we can have forever. And I'm really excited to get started. I feel like you probably feel the same way, Obi.
Absolutely. A little bit different about me. I wasn't really huge in the podcasting world. Just recently on TikTok, just seeing the podcast going down on that. Always loves viewing it, seeing them, laughing a lot. Gabe asked me to do this podcast with him. Thought it would be a great idea. Loved the idea, actually. And here we are.
Yeah, so me and Obi, just briefly, I know we're yapping along. We'll get going here in a sec, but it's important for the first episode, to get to know us a little bit. I met Obi. We went to elementary school together. We started actually at our new elementary school in second grade. It was built. They kind of sent some new kids there from the same town, and so we went to elementary school together. Started second grade. Around third grade, I've met Obi at various little kid birthday parties, whether it's capture flag football or a little sleepover in an Xbox action.
Yep.
But we got to know each other kind of there. But our friendship kind of really took off in like later on in middle school, around like seventh and eighth grade, when we started having actual classes together for the first time. And he would come on. I think it was it eighth grade. You came on the first trip to Hilton Head with my family.
It was eighth grade. You asked me to go, and I had never been invited on a vacation by a friend before. I was a little nervous, but very excited. And then his family took me in with open arms, and we never looked back.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's crazy how time's flown. I mean, obviously seventh, eighth grade is 9, 10 years ago. Like it's ridiculous, but yeah, it's one of those things where that relationship's been building, and I think hopefully me and Obi will take you on a journey with us over these next months, years, however long we can see this thing out. Hopefully build a nice fifth corner family, and give you guys a fun little 45 minutes to an hour a week of good laughs and good times and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much the introduction for tonight. We'll obviously you'll get to know us more and more as we go along with the podcast itself. For all of our audio listeners, obviously there's going to be some times where there's going to be some stuff we're talking about that will be a little more clear for our audio and visual listeners over on YouTube or any TikTok clips, but we'll plug all of that at some point tonight in the video and in the videos going forward when everything's a little more organized. But yeah, we'll be audio only on Spotify, and then we'll have some other platforms for you guys to view it on. But we'll do our best to kind of walk you through every episode and give you the best experience possible. So yeah, tonight, I mean, episode one, we thought we would start off this episode how we're planning on starting off most episodes in the series, if not all, which is kind of just like a segment called like of the weeks. So basically, like each week when we're recording, we'll give you some hot takes. We'll give you some maybe songs of the week, maybe quotes of the week, maybe a snack we've been really enjoying this week, and we want to give a shout out to. But basically, just some shout outs, stuff that's been kind of on our mind this week. So, Obi, if you want to start us off and kind of give us some stuff that's been on your mind or on your plate this week.
I would love to start it off because I actually have a great song. Been listening to this in the car a lot this week. It's "Bad at Love" by Halsey. If you know it, "Bad at Love," yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's an amazing song. I don't know where I've been, but I just came across it recently. Also on the internet, social medias. Yeah, never heard of it before, and I have played it probably 20 to 30 times this week. It's probably
Yeah,
in
I
my
mean,
top 5 songs right now.
yeah, I mean,
Love it.
unbelievable song, unbelievable song. I mean, Halsey has a couple good songs
Oh, she does. She absolutely
that
does.
I've been listening to, but that is a very good song and a very good way to start us off. So, my song of the week, the first thing I wanna bring up for the fans. It's not always gonna be this way, but it just so happened that this week in particular, my song of the week is actually a song that got released within the last week. My song came out on Friday during New Music Friday. I like to scour that on Spotify each week to try to find some new music, some new tracks to listen to in the car and whatnot. One of my favorite artists of all time, Quinn92, um, came out with a new song called Pasadena that, like I said, just came out on Friday morning. It is, as many Quinn songs are, going to be an absolute summer bop
Mhm.
this 2024 summer. So I'm very excited. I mean, it's warming up. It's warming up now. So I was listening to it in the car and just longing for the days where I can get my windows down and play songs just like that in the car. I know everyone's looking forward to that. Up here in New England area, New York, New England area where we're from, and also living right now, it's dreary. It can get
Mhm.
dreary in the
Oh,
in the winter months.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, we're looking forward to it. But yeah, I'll go next. We'll kind of snake draft our shout
Sure.
outs and stuff like that. But I have two moments of the week or memories of the week, if you will. So we're just coming off Easter, and I have a memory from Easter itself, but it actually has nothing to do with the holiday.
Okay.
Um, I uh, I got to watch my Boston College Eagles make the Final Four or the Frozen Four, if you will, of the college hockey tournament by way of an overtime goal. For all those people who probably weren't tuned into that, was enjoying their Easter dinner. Um, BC never led in the game until they scored the overtime winner. Not
Wow.
one for 1 second of the entire game did they have the lead. They went down 1-0, tied it 1-1, went down 2-1, tied it up 3, tied it up 4, tied it up, and then scored the overtime winner. We actually have the clip right here in the corner. A rebound, kind of puck in the middle, scrumming for the net, and then just a tap in goal to send us to the Frozen Four. Very, very exciting stuff. I was, like I said, it was the game puck dropped at 4 p.m. on Easter Sunday, so it was the right in the thick of Easter dinner. I was kind of playing musical chairs with my family to try to get a better look whenever I could. But yeah, so that was one of my moments of the week, and then the other one was on Saturday afternoon. Was just kicking the old soccer ball around on the new Bethlehem High School turf. That's where we went to high school. I
Sure.
was with a couple of friends. It was a nice day out, and honestly, you can get older and older and older. Whether it's kicking the soccer ball around, whether it's throwing a football around, shooting hoops, like there's few things better than just getting out there with like friends or family and kind of just like playing some recreational sports. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. 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 I haven't even seen the field. I didn't know they did any renovations to it.
Yeah, they literally in the last like year and a half, they kind of just up like did away with the old ridge grass, and there's a huge. It's like football size bleachers now in the soccer field too, and they have a huge scoreboard and it's turf. It's actually really nice.
I have seen the scoreboards. I think our baseball team, and when we were in high school, didn't even have a outfield fence, and now there's about 16 scoreboards across the goddamn field. So
Yeah, yeah. We
for them to
actually
renovate while we left.
Yeah, I was
Proud
actually
of them.
just talking to our good friend Caleb about that the other day, and about how oh yeah, there's a field right there, I believe. Yeah, I mean, I was talking to our good friend Caleb about that this past weekend. How it's crazy. I think the baseball field has seen a pretty sizable upgrade since we left school in 2019. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, I honestly I was thinking about this too. I I love what they've done with the bleachers and with the scoreboard. For me personally, I get why they did it. I totally understand. It's probably the smarter move. I was kind of a sucker for having that grass field. We're one of the only soccer teams in the area that has like an actual nice fenced in grass field.
Mhm.
Uh, so I liked playing on the grass in high school, and I honestly was kind of hoping they would just make our football field turf because that's still grass, and if they did
Yeah.
that, it would give the option for soccer to play on turf for grass. And I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, Obi here played football in high school. I feel like you would. Would you prefer turf? Would you?
Turf would probably be better. The only thing I could think of would be like when we would play on turf fields at away fields, maybe just like obviously turf burn, stuff like that. But I think it would have been better, nicer field, I think. I think it would have been better for us to put in turf when we were in school. But
Yeah. No, I know.
everything's
I've
changed.
been thinking about that a lot. I just I don't know. There was something about like the kind of old timey feel of our old soccer field that kind of made it a cool place to play, whether you're home or away.
Yeah, the
So
soccer field was a very, very nice field, even without the turf,
mhm.
especially with turf causing a lot of injuries now. Like,
Yeah,
it causes injuries all over the place. So, I mean, now that it's gone, I mean, hey, I guess we'll miss it.
yeah, absolutely. All right. So do you have anything else to add for
I,
your
I
moment?
do have a moment of the week.
There you go.
My moment of the week was probably Saturday night. Yeah, it was Saturday night. We went over to our good friend Piper's house, and Gabe
Good.
here put on a trivia match for
Yeah.
about 8 of our other friends. And we used to do this a little bit about a year ago. Gabe would set up a whole bunch of different games. It was great. It was a great time. 4v4. Not to brag, but I do consider myself a bit of a trivia guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my team actually did end up losing, but it was a great time. And I really enjoyed it. Gabe puts together great trivia matches. And if you guys want a trivia match, send in a question about our trivia matches because we'll explain them to you. We really will.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I won't get too deep into the weeds right now, but that was kind of the previous passion project of mine. Now I'm on to the podcasting world, which I'm excited about. But definitely love going to trivia and participating in it. But I also love
Mhm.
making trivia. Season and a half of trivia, but over 50 matches brought together people from all over. So yeah, I mean, definitely something that I would love to answer questions about at some point on one of the pods if a question comes around with that. But yeah, so the only other thing I had to add for my of the weeks, I have a couple shout outs, just like very general stuff. The first shout out is going to this guy right here. I don't know if our viewers will be able to see
Wow.
that. But
Uh,
first shout out of the week is this little head scratcher guy. I don't actually know where it's from or where I got it or what it's even called, but I found it in my bedroom, and very simple, just on top of the head, right top of the head. One of these guys right here. Doesn't seem like much, and I can understand how people would think that, but I am getting a unbelievable head massage or whatever it's called, little scratch, little massage. Um, really opens up the thoughts and the feelings.
sure. I'll be the first to say it. I think you're crazy with that. I have had one of those in the past, and it feels like I'm getting stabbed in the head with a knife.
Really,
I
really.
cannot take those. I really cannot.
I don't know why. I honestly feel
It gives me
decent.
chills down my spine every single time. Like I can't do it. I'll do it once and I'll be like, get that thing away from me. I just can't do
You're telling me it hurts you?
it. It's not like it hurts. It just gives you like it's like it's mental. It like literally chills
I,
down the back and it feels like somebody has stuck their finger, sharpened it, and stuck it into my head. That's
that's
what it feels
insane.
like to me.
Because you know what's weird for me? Like if I ever like I didn't like the reason I used it this weekend, it wasn't for this reason, but like it's crazy. You might not believe me. I'm gonna sound ridiculous. If I ever have a headache, that on the head, better good as Advil.
Really?
Like
Wow.
like well,
I'll take your word for it.
like it'll work for a sec, and then like it won't like have the lasting effects Advil will have, obviously.
Sure.
But I'll have a headache or like a migraine, and then I'll do that, and I'll feel like that tingly thing you're talking about, and then
Yep.
for about 10 minutes, I feel like pretty good. Like I feel a little more relaxed. I feel a little more just like no matter if I have a headache or not. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's the first one. Love those things. Second thing is check it out on YouTube if you guys come across it. I came across it last night. I gotta work on this. I'm one of those people. They say you gotta like when you're going to bed, you gotta like get rid of your phone like 30 minutes before you're supposed to sleep and
Yeah.
turn on your television. I've always been a huge like TV on when I'm going to bed guy, and I think that that's something I got to fix as I'm becoming an adult here in the world. It's not doing me any favors with my sleep hygiene, but one way or another, I last night I kind of tried to do a little happy medium. Instead of watching TV, I put on a 8-hour rain and fireplace video.
Okay.
Like I turned it down pretty low, but it was basically like 8 hours of just like light rain sound. Like it was
Yep.
outside and then the fireplace crackling a little bit here and there. I had that on the whole night. I think my TV turned off at one point, but I remember when I was going to bed, I was like, yes, that's actually exactly what it is right there right there. Yeah. Thank you, team. Our team, by the way, shout out all of them, doing a great job for us tonight. And also throughout the podcast, they got the video up right there. But yeah, that was on when I was going to bed last night and just unbelievably soothing. I don't know if it's something that I'll be doing every night, but yeah, I mean, I loved it. Do you have anything to add there? Any other shout out?
I'm going to add to that because I do the same thing every single night. I actually listen to a pouring rain sound effect. It's actually on Spotify. It is a just pouring rain, 2 minutes, 50 seconds. I throw it on loop. It puts me to bed instantly. And you'd think the pouring rain would be like, just like, no, it's soothing, very soothing. And it sounds like just like trickling water. So like the pouring effect doesn't really fit, but I do it every single night.
There you go. I mean, yeah, I'm very new to the game, very, very new to the trickling rain, or pouring rain in the middle of the night while I'm sleeping game. But I mean, it worked last night. I mean, maybe it's one of those things where here and there as a little treat for myself. Maybe I'll give myself a little rain in the bedroom.
It's a great way to go to bed. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm new to it, but very, very good reviews. And that's kind of my rookie of the week, my shout out of the week, right there. Anything else to add for your of the weeks, or should we get right into the thick of it?
I do have a snack of the week. Okay. A snack that I used to partake in probably in high school almost every single day. Probably haven't had it in 4.5 years. It is the goldfish cracker.
Wow.
Just a simple goldfish cracker.
I mean, he's a 4-time MVP.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And, I just haven't bought them, I'm living on my own at school, just don't got the budget to throw in goldfish crackers. Put it on the shopping list this week, and I ate the whole bag in one night. I mean, it is a great goddamn snack. It is
and they are very addicting. I personally, I don't know. I mean, I don't actually know what people would say about this. I'm personally a Cheez-It guy. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion in comparison to goldfish. I mean, they're both really good. I think I want to say it's hard to. I was gonna say the cheese is more versatile, but I stopped myself. There are a lot of goldfish flavors, so they're both versatile. I think the Cheez-It does more flavor as well. Like goldfish has like the flavor blasted and the original. I think both of those are like top tier snacks. But like after that, you're kind of just getting into the colored fish and like, do they really taste different? Some might say, but I wouldn't say. But like Cheez-Its, they have the white cheddar really well. They do the pepper jack okay. They do the original really well. Actually, toasty kind of adds a little variation to it that's still good. So yeah, I mean, I'm a Cheez-It guy through and through, but I mean, I totally agree with the goldfish love as well. It's just a great snack.
Yeah, I do believe actually Cheez-Its are more liked around the USA than goldfish. I think that's a fact.
I believe it. I mean, it's kind of crazy because Cheez-It, I think goldfish has maybe more of a cult following. I feel like the people that really like goldfish are like they will not see it any other way. Yep. But Cheez-Its, I do think most people would agree that Cheez-Its have kind of taken over the cheesy snack industry.
Agreed. But not taking anything away from the goldfish. It is my snack of the week.
Not taking anything away from the Cheeto either. He's kind of fallen off a little bit in the last couple of years.
He has. I don't think I've had a Cheeto in about 5 or 6.
So yeah, as we're seeing here, it looks like Cheez-It taking the crown currently.
50% of votes, 57% of votes. Cheez-Its. Wow, thought it would have been more, honestly.
Yeah, I mean that just shows me though. It's, I mean, honestly, I mean we're gonna get into something kind of similar later when it comes to like a draft we're doing in a little bit that hopefully you guys will enjoy. But a rivalry draft. Cheese and Goldfish has to be up there as one
Oh,
of the
that's
best
up there.
rivalries. I mean,
Absolutely.
goes along with like those Lakers Celtics old rivalries. You
Mhm.
know, it's just it's they really do butt heads. I overheard Cheese in my kitchen saying some pretty nasty things about Goldfish the other night. So
Yeah, they
I
do
got
not like each other. They do not like each other.
not at all. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that. I mean, that's been a rivalry for a while now, but hopefully we rekindled the flame here between those two, and we can get some good content from them coming up. But yeah, Cheese It through and through. But yes, good shout out to Goldfish as well. Another fantastic snack. I'm trying to think of what I even was snacking on a lot back in the day in high school. There was one thing. I mean, honestly, more than it was bringing it to school, it was I was more finding myself grabbing it every time that I would go to the YMCA vending machine.
Oh,
Because I would be there a lot shooting hoops in high school after school and stuff like that,
yep,
or getting
sure.
a good workout in. I like to go to the peanut butter pretzel. Peanut butter pretzel. I honestly am not a huge pretzel guy anymore. In fact, I actually would go as far as to say I hate pretzels. Now in my
Wow.
life.
Hate
Yeah,
pretzels.
yeah. Well, soft pretzels maybe not as much.
Oh yeah,
Um,
soft pretzel's good. A little mustard.
but the regular pretzel, I'm just finding myself getting parched very quickly more than I used to
Mhm.
be. Maybe it's just old age. I'm not quite sure,
It
but
could be.
but yeah, I'm not in love with the pretzels anymore. But yeah, peanut butter is a different story. I am
Mhm.
one of the biggest peanut butter fans you'll find. I'll go to the kitchen. It's a late night. I'll get home from the bar. I grab a snack just to wash it down. I might just grab a spoon and just dump it right in the peanut butter.
Oh, you're a spoon into the peanut butter guy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, when I have to be.
Yeah,
I don't like being
I've done
that
it a
way.
few times. Nobody can say they haven't.
Yeah, it happens more than I'm willing to admit. It's probably happened
Okay.
twice in life.
Okay.
But no, I mean, I do love it. I really love peanut butter, and that was another thing. Now that I mentioned that in high school, the not necessarily bring it to school because I like to buy the chicken patty. I would go to the chicken patty a lot and
Yeah.
go to the curly
Right.
fry. But when I was home, whether it was before like a soccer practice or something like that, I would dial up the peanut butter banana number a lot like back in the day.
Ooh.
That
Was
was
that the
kind of my
Elvis special? Then I think that's the Elvis special there. I think he
I'm
loves
on
peanut butter banana sandwich.
I'm unfamiliar. I mean, it's great to be it's great to
I
be
think that's
associated.
his. I think that's his sandwich game. I think that's
Yeah,
his
I mean,
sandwich.
believe me, I would dial that up 4 times a week. It would be
Wow.
a lot. Yeah, I'd
I
go
mean,
home.
I've had them a few times, and they're good. They're good.
It's a good sandwich.
Um.
It really is a good sandwich.
So, are you? Is it safe to say you're Team PB over Team J?
Uh yeah. I mean, I don't do PB as much as I do J, unfortunately. And also, just to be quite honest with you, I'm getting lazy now. I got a job. I go to the Uncrustable if I'm going with the PB.
Yes, you do. You do. You like the Uncrustable. It's a great little sandwich.
It's
Quick, easy.
honestly, let's call a spade a spade. It boils down to I'm being a lazy piece of shit.
Sure, sure.
It comes down to that. It comes down to I simply do not want to make the sandwich.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do like the homemade one better. But it's just the Uncrustable. You take it out, you let it thaw for an hour, and then you just pop it right on in there.
Yeah.
Good as ever.
Oh yeah,
But
there it is. There it is. The Presley sandwich, the peanut butter and banana. Yeah.
yeah, I had
Yeah.
no idea honestly. But hey, that's
Just
I
watched that movie a couple months ago.
still have not
Very
seen it.
good.
Still have not seen it actually.
It's I expected more, but it's good. It's good.
Who's the main?
Austin Butler, the guy from
That's what I thought. Yes, I
yeah,
remember
the
that.
child actor. Yeah. Yep.
Right.
This
Yeah.
guy,
There
yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Looking definitely different from his Zoe 101 days, but
Oh, there we go. Thank you, team, for pulling that up. It's very helpful. I haven't seen it yet. But I would like to see it.
real good. Real good. A little
As
forced at the end, a little rushed, but the movie overall.
yeah, as you guys will find out, over the episodes and all that, and Nobi knows this very well about me. I'm such a TV show over movie kind of guy.
Mhm.
That's just who I am. I was born this way. I quite frankly, it's not that I don't have the attention span. When it's a really good movie and movies I do like really enjoy watching, I have no problem. It's
Yep.
about those like 30 to 48-minute shows when it's like one of those hour long cable TV shows
Mhm.
that it just feels like it's just coming at you thick and fast, and I just like I really really enjoy from episode to episode to episode and a story that way. But it's, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some absolute classic movies out there that are better than any that are as good, if not better than any TV show that I can think of. But it's I'm just a TV show guy. I believe would you say you're a movie guy if you had to pick?
I would. I'd probably go movie over TV shows. I've seen a lot of TV shows, but I've seen millions and millions of movies. I mean, and you're not one to shy away from the movies. I mean, when we were growing up, I would come over and I'd show you some movies. There's some instant classics that I've showed you over the years that you still laugh at today. Weekend at Bernie's coming to mind right away.
Yeah, I mean, what an amazing movie. If you haven't seen that, I mean, I honestly don't know how popular that would be with our generation. I don't even know exactly when it came out, but I know.
Oh, that's an old one. That's got to be early '80s, I would say. It's probably not as popular with our generation, but it's a laugh your balls off kind of movie.
Yeah, I mean, for just quickly for those that don't know, it's basically a basic plot of the movie is basically these two guys find basically like a kind of like a mole in their company, like kind of like a discrepancy in the funds of like their financial company, and they take it to the boss to like tell him what they found and hopefully be rewarded. Turns out that like that is exactly who was kind of running this operation, and basically he invites them to their to his the boss is Bernie, invites them to his like little beach house, and the whole idea is he tries to hire some hitman to take out these two guys that found the discrepancy in the books, so he doesn't have to deal with it. But then things take a turn and I'm not going to give away too much of it, but definitely check it out. Hilarious movie, definitely one that comes to mind when I think of classic movies that we watched in the day. Superbad, another one that comes to mind that we've seen a gazillion times together.
A million times, yep.
Kicking and Screaming, Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many. It's just it's where do we even start? But yeah, so that's pretty much that. So I think now we'll hop on over to the first kind of segment we have tonight. The first thing we're going to do, which is going to be draft of things. We do 5 rounds back and forth. The draft is going to be of things that we cannot do that we wish that we could do. It's just straight up audio, nothing to show anyone here. But yeah, so I will actually go first for this one. Yeah, so all of these things we cannot do, we wish we could do. For my first pick, this is something that I have been thinking about for a long while. I'm pretty certain that I've mentioned this to you before. I feel like I've mentioned it to a lot of people before. It's kind of a 2-for-1, but hopefully you don't throw a flag on the play because it's kind of like
we'll see how it tests against the rules.
It really does go hand in hand because I feel like having both of them would make it so much better. So the first thing of draft of things I can't do, I wish I could, be sing and or play guitar extremely well. How I would love it if I could just woo a girl by pulling out my trusty old guitar and just singing a tune. The best of my abilities. And like I don't mean like I'm really good. Like, if I was really really good and become famous by making music, like, or woo a girl by giving her the old 1-2 punch of mic and guitar, that would be unbelievable. That's something, that's my 101 in terms of things I wish I could do.
Yeah, I'll take this off the list. If you can't do it, everybody wants to do it. I'm gonna go with dunk a basketball.
Yeah, I was afraid that was coming. That was my number 3 pick if it got to me. But yeah, that's 100%. I mean, I'm a 5'11"-ish, maybe a little shorter than that. I'm a decently athletic guy. I have massive hands to palm a basketball pretty easily. I just cannot get that ball over that rim. Like,
yeah, a little bit more challenging for me being 5'6". Never even came close to the rim. Couldn't even dunk on 8 feet probably. But bought my first pair of Jordans when I was a young one and couldn't even dunk on the Fisher Price. So that's my number 1. That's my number 1.
Speaking of that, I don't know. So you bring up a good point when you were mentioning not even sure if you could dunk on the 8-foot hoop.
Yeah.
Were you ever? I assume you had to have been. Were you ever a participant in those Haswell Farms mini hoop Geese?
I was over at Stempsey's, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
were you able to be a slasher in the confines of that arena, or?
Absolutely not. Any game I've ever played on the basketball court, I am a shooter.
Gotcha.
I don't think I maybe have 6 to 8 career points in the paint in any
Mhm.
basketball game I've ever played.
Absolutely.
Um,
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's a great pick. I mean, I had that on my on my thing as well. So, yeah, I'll go next again here for my second pick. There's one thing that I know you can do, so I'm gonna say that for my fifth pick, even though I
mhm.
really, really wish I could do it. But secondly, I'm gonna go with use chopsticks properly. I
Yes, yes.
I as someone as someone who I would say I would say sushi is maybe my favorite food. You know, I'm a sushi guy.
Oh,
It is
absolutely.
it is quite embarrassing that I love sushi as much as I do, and every single time I go to a decently nice sushi restaurant, I'm forking it, or I'm just simply
Hands
grabbing
in
the
there. Yeah.
I'm simply grabbing the sushi, and it's getting to the point where it's just it's not good. It's not good for them. It's not good for me, and I can't really call myself a sushi fan if I'm not using chopsticks. But
Yeah.
I get the chopstick in the crevice, like the first crevice. We're kind of guiding it, and then
Yeah.
there's just a malfunction in the process, and it just
Yeah, you
doesn't.
lose it right away. You lose it right away.
Yeah, that's my number two. I desperately need to do that. Learn how to do that.
Yeah, yeah, you do. Um,
Mhm.
my second pick is going to be something that this sport I am also not the best at, but if I could do this, I would be a lot more confident in my entire self. Is bowl of 300 game. It's bowl of
Oh wow,
300.
wow, yeah, wow. I
Yep.
didn't even think of that. Yeah, and I mean, I think bowling's a decent time, like
Oh, I
generally.
love bowling. I love bowling. My best game's probably only if I've ever made it to triple digits. That's impressive for me. But I will not put those goddamn bumpers up. I'm a man. I'm not playing
Yeah,
with bumpers.
using the
So
dinosaur
if I
thing.
could go to the lanes right now and bowl a 300, God, that would make me feel good.
Oh yeah, and especially because I feel like that's that's also, especially at our age, kids don't take advice from this. Is not bowling advice. But if you are at our age, if you're bowling, you're grabbing a couple pictures. You're having a good time with friends. I mean, how cool would that be? You know,
Absolutely.
have a couple pictures with friends, and you just walk up there every time and just kind of kind of just like not without even trying, kind of just whip it
Mhm.
down the lane, pins every single time. I mean, that's a great pick. I didn't even think about that, but
If I could actually add to that a little bit, also put spin on the ball.
yeah,
Can't do
that's
that.
actually
If I even try to do that, it's going right in the gutter. So
very true. Here's a live look of O'Brien
yeah,
at the lane.
that's me pretty much on every single time I've hit the lanes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
For those of our audio only listeners, that was a video of a certain gentleman throwing a bowling ball straight up and hitting the ceiling tiles and knocking them down inside the bowling alley.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Had to pay
but
for that one. Definitely had to pay
yeah,
for that one.
that's a great pick. That's a great pick. So I will take this off the board for my third pick. It also has to do with sports, actually.
Okay.
In a sport we've actually played together. Make a hole in one, O'Brien. Make a hole in one.
Oh,
I
yes.
I I almost made a hole in one a couple what was it last week? Yeah, early last week at some point, but it wasn't like I don't know. It would be hard to count it because I was playing at like a chip and putt little R3 practice course. It was a decent shot. It was like a 90-yard shot. So I mean, I probably would have counted it.
Mhm.
It's just one of those things where doing it doing it alone maybe would be like I mean, like if I made that hole in one, where I was just messing around on my own,
Yeah.
that maybe wouldn't have been good. But if I'm playing with friends, and I make a hole in one. I only need one of those. That would be the most electric.
Yeah, that's probably the best time of your life ever on a golf
Oh
course. You're sprinting all the way down to the hole, just finding your ball at the bottom of the cup. Come
oh,
on. Nothing better.
I can't even imagine. Well, think about. Well, this is a question. I mean, I know my answer. Would you rather make one hole in one with like 8 of your buddies on a golf trip, or would
Mhm.
you rather make like 5 hole in ones on your own?
Yeah, absolutely one with a lot of my
Yeah,
buddies.
that's what I think too. Yeah,
Even
it's
if
just
even if I was like filming myself or whatever and I was alone, hit five, it's on camera, everybody can see it.
Yeah.
You're getting hyped up with your buddies if you hit it in front of
Oh,
them.
you're
all running.
You're all running to the green. It
Yeah,
would be
you're
a
all
great,
running.
great experience. Yeah, I
If
mean,
it's over the water, hell, you might dive in that goddamn thing and swim there.
oh yeah, oh my God,
Because I don't know what I would do if I made a hole. I really don't.
Yeah,
don't.
I would be going absolutely berserk. But yeah, that's my third. Yeah, it's my third.
Yeah, that's a great third pick. An absolute great third pick. This pick is this one's funny. I actually watched the movie The Hangover the other night. And this came to mind. I thought it was a great part of the movie. Own a tiger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike
Tyson, when he owns that tiger, I think that's one of the coolest things you could have as a pet. If you could get a tame tiger who's not going to rip your head off, I don't even know how that's possible. But
yeah, I assume it's not.
Well, apparently, Mike Tyson. I don't know if he really even has a tiger in real life, but
seems like that is a pretty well trained white tiger I'm looking at. Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at that guy. Look at that is.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, see, he does that to me. Me being 5'6", I think he's clawing my face off.
Yeah. Oh, but he seems like he's just playing. He's just playing.
Yeah, they're big cats, you know. They get you.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if you know this. I mean, you probably know it, but I'm not certain. I have this like crazy infatuation with the idea of having a raccoon as a pet. I love raccoons. Like I absolutely
You do?
love
Oh yes, you mentioned it to me not long ago.
Yeah, I've seen these TikToks of them like finger painting. Not like I mean like they just like eating Cheez-Its. Like they do human things, which is like I mean, their nickname is the Trash Panda, so they're not really known for being like a pet at all. But like they are so cute when you
Yeah, they are cute. They're cute little buggers. You know, they got their little masks over their eyes. They're cute.
Yeah, when you get them in the right environment, you know, hopefully that would be something I could explore, but I don't think I'll ever explore that. But yeah. So now for my fourth pick, I'm between two here. I wrote down 8, assuming you would take some line. You did take Dunker Basketball. I'm between 2. I'm gonna go with. I think I could do that, so I'm not gonna do it. Okay. I could do both of these probably if I really put my mind to it, but
sure.
I'm gonna do one that I think makes me a little more appealing again, just to the general population. And I'm gonna say if I could be just a fantastic cook, like a fantastic cook. And I'm not talking like oh you can make chicken parm for friends that come over. I mean like I'm inviting people over, whether it's a date, whether it's my friends. I am just blowing them away with like my
gourmet.
Like 3 to 5 course meals. I'm on holidays. I'm the dad in the kitchen that's just completely unconscious, just whipping up dish after dish, and like I think I could get there. So I'm not saying I can never do it, but I wish I could do it, and hopefully that drives me to become one of those fathers down the line that can just really throw down in the kitchen.
I won't say that I'm a great cook. I can cook a mean grilled cheese, a couple other things, a couple dishes, but I'm not skilled in the cooking field. Definitely not. I can make a killer bowl of cereal, but nothing much past that.
Yeah.
This one's a good one. Might not make me appealing to the world or anything, but for me, this would just be cool. Just to be able to hold my breath underwater for extended periods of time. I don't think I could probably go more than maybe a minute or anything over that.
Cool. That's like a party trick. I mean, as long as you're doing it.
If I could go swimming and just stay underwater all day, I would. I really would. It's just one of those things where I've always been like, I want to be under the water, not swimming on top of the water. I want to be under the water.
No, I hear you. It's one of those things you definitely would do. When you're a kid and you're in the pool with your friend, it's like, oh, how long can you hold your breath? But those get dangerous because you're a small child and you're trying to stay underwater for 2+ minutes. It's just
I would always lose those. I think that might be why I'm picking that today.
I
just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
wasn't me.
Fair enough. I mean, 100%. I can agree with that. So I have an honorable mention. Actually 2 honorable mentions that I'll kind of just get out of the way, but like. Don't get me wrong, they're not going to be my 5th pick. My 5th pick has been saving because I know most people can do it, so I know you can say.
And I think I know this about you.
My honorable mentions are 1 to do a flip, but like I don't know. Like I don't really care. I just thought it'd be cool, but I don't really care. And then the
Yep.
other one would be to open a successful small business.
Mhm.
Like that would be cool if I could really do something like that. But my
Could I
actual
actually guess your number 5 and see if I know it?
yeah, you can try to guess my number 5.
So I'm between two. I was leaning one way, but then right when you said backflip, it completely drove me the other way. Is it know how to dive?
No, but actually I don't
Wow.
quite know how to dive. It's a lot more simple than that, and you don't. It's not something you do. None of these you really do every day. But
I think it is the thing I was thinking of first. But go
which is
ahead, I
what?
won't take another guess. That was my guess.
Okay. Yeah, number 5 for me is actually gonna be to learn how to take a pill. Take a pill. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. I didn't have that.
I I understand what people are probably thinking on the other side. It's just like just take the pill. And
Yeah.
believe me, like I've heard that conversation. I've had that dialogue with people more times than you guys can possibly fathom. I think one day it will happen. My
Yeah.
one of my family members actually shared with me that they couldn't take pills till they were 28.
Wow.
And I'm, currently 23 years old, going on 24 in November. It's gotta happen. It just has to
Yeah.
happen. There's only so many times I could take children's Advil or stick myself with a painkiller because I can't take a pill. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
it's getting to the point where I need to learn how to take a pill. And don't get me wrong, like you guys can flame me in the comments. Like I get it. I think it's pathetic too. I don't know how I don't know how to do it. It's just one of those things. I throw it on in there. I try with yogurt. I try with Jello. I try with this, that, and the other. You name it. It just I swallow everything else in my mouth, and then
Yep.
there it is. It's just like I don't
Yeah.
know what it's like a mental block. I don't know.
You're kind of like those dog videos where they try to hide the pill in like the peanut butter or the piece of cheese or something, and they eat the cheese and the pill they just spit it out.
Yeah,
It just won't go down.
yeah. I
It's
don't. I don't
something.
know.
You'll get past that wall. It'll
Yeah.
come one day.
Go ahead. Go ahead with your fifth pick, though. My computer's losing battery quick. I'm gonna charge it right here. Go ahead.
So I'm between two on my list. One is just never gonna happen. I wish it did, but it's just never gonna happen. But this one, I guess it could still happen. Um, it's always been one of my favorite sports, or I guess Olympic event. Always loved it on Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Don't know if you're familiar with that game,
Yeah,
but
very.
it's to become a professional pole vaulter. Pole vaulter.
Okay. Wow.
I
Okay.
love those videos. People sticking that thing in the ground, getting over that thing, and even the fails. The fails are just hilarious. I mean, the stick snapping, you
Right.
falling freaking
Absolutely.
15 feet, whatever it is, just nailing the ground. Like you got to be good at that. And if you fail one, you could break your neck. But becoming a
Absolutely.
professional pole vaulter is one of the things. Yep, there it is. Yeah,
Oh, we got a little video
here we
here. Not.
go. Yeah, look at
Oh, that
that
is
is yeah.
cool. Oh.
Look at that. He clears it and still a fail in there. That went right in the
Yeah.
place you don't want it to go. Let's see what
Here we
this guy
go. Yeah.
does.
Again, another one here. We got to pull. Oh, it's slow motion.
Oh, I think I know this one. I think I know this one.
Seems like he's not getting. Oh, he's getting over it.
Uh,
Oh dear. That's a tough watch. It really is. It's hard. It's hard to see.
yeah. But being a
I mean,
pro and hitting it every time, getting over that bar, it's just something I
yeah.
aspire to do.
I mean, fair enough. Yeah. Pole vaulter O'Brien does have a nice ring to it. No, I mean it does, and it's not to be confused with a pole dancer. To our audio.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But hey, you never know. You never know where your life's going to take you.
You never know. Here we got another pole vaulter.
If we have any pole dancers out there, please don't take that as an insult. We love pole dancers. We
Oh,
love
absolutely.
We are
Look,
pro pole dancers.
I just don't have the facilities for it. It's not.
Yeah.
It has nothing. It has nothing to do with you guys. I absolutely respect for the profession. I just don't have it. Some people have
Yeah.
it. Some people don't, and I just simply don't. So
Some people got that motion in the hips, upper
Yeah.
body. You need a lot of upper body strength.
Yeah.
You really
Yeah.
do to climb that. Yeah.
Yeah. Me and O'Brien simply have not had all that motion. Our whole
No.
we just have not.
We haven't. We no, we haven't.
Yeah. So that should do it for the draft of things we wish we could do. 5 and 5. But yeah, I mean O'Brien, the pole vaulter, to kind of culminate that segment of the episode. So Yeah, so I think from here quickly, before we get on to our second little draft and last of the night, let's just quickly glance over some stuff going on in the sports world right now. The really one thing I want to talk about tonight is we're here filming on Monday the 2nd, I believe, of April, and coming up on Saturday we have the Final Four. We have North Carolina State, kind of the underdog story, 11 seed, DJ Burns. Going up against Zach Edey and the Boilermakers of Purdue in one of the matchups. And then on the other side, we have the Alabama Crimson Tide, who beat my Tar Heels, unfortunately, as a 4 seed, going on to face the odds-on favorite to win the whole tournament in the UConn Huskies, the 1 seed. So we actually watched one Alabama game together the other night. Was that the game?
Alabama Clemson. Yep.
Right. Yeah, that was the game we watched the other night. But yeah, I mean, what are you thinking for? Let's go match by matchup. What do you got for NC State Purdue? How do you think that's gonna
go? Unfortunately, I do have the Cinderella story coming to an end here. I do not think. I think Edey is going to get the job done. What is he coming off a 40-pointer in the last game? Against Tennessee. Against Tennessee. I don't think NC State's got what it takes to stop them. But hey, Cinderella story for a reason. I didn't think they had the means to stop a lot of the people along their path. So you never know.
I'm rooting for NC State, definitely. I mean, I went to Boston College, so I am a fan of their basketball program. I've been a fan of UNC for a while now because I used to like some of the old guards they had. Marcus Page, Colby White. Yep. But no, I mean, BC fan first and foremost. But that being said, I watched NC State this year. BC played them tough. I mean, NC State, they were nowhere near the tournament until they won the ACC tournament. They were the 10 seed. BC was the 11 seed. So it is a crazy Cinderella story. And DJ Burns is definitely taking the hearts of America. But yeah, I do think Zach Edey may be too much to handle on the weekend.
He's the bigger fella, correct?
Zach Edey, yeah. He's the huge, 7 foot.
Yeah. And who's the bigger fella on NC State?
Oh, DJ Burns. DJ Burns.
Yeah, that's the guy I was talking about. Yeah, look at him. He's a body. Wow. He's good too, right? He's good.
Oh yeah, very good. He scored 35 or 30 or 35 or something crazy on BC when I was there. Wow. I think it was junior year. It was a while ago. But he's a great player, honestly. I mean, I do think the Cinderella story comes to an end here, but I mean, hey, I kind of thought it was going to come to an end in the round of 32. So
yeah.
On the other side, Alabama and UConn. This game, there might be 200 points scored in this Alabama-UConn game. There's just unbelievable offense after unbelievable offense. I personally, at the beginning of the tournament, I wouldn't say I was a UConn hater, but I honestly was a little bit skeptical that they were going to be like the team everyone thought they were going to be, where it's like they're just going to run through everyone. The odds for UConn winning versus the whole field of the rest of the tournament was like something crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's pump the brakes. There's 67 teams in this tournament.
Right.
But it's just I keep watching them game in, game out, and they're just not giving anyone an inch. And they went on a 30-0 run against Illinois.
Yeah, I've never seen that coming out of the second half. 30. They were down at half, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe, or it was like really close.
Very close game, and then. I mean, a 30-0 run in any game, it's over at that point. Like, you can't come back from a 30-0 run, you know what I mean? And I just, as much as I wish Alabama could get it done, I don't see it happening at all.
Yeah, so you see here, so it started in the first half, with 20 seconds left, the 30-0 run.
Okay.
And it was like a four-point game, in this video right here, and then they just completely turned it on.
Yeah, holy moly. Illinois
hasn't scored since the free throw.
They've had 23 points for freaking
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah, it's unheard of. It's literally unheard of. So, I mean, I think.
What do you do as a player in that situation?
No idea.
I'm calling timeout. Yeah. I'm calling timeout.
I don't think as a coach I would have had enough timeouts in my pocket to get to that, but. One way or another, I mean, in Illinois was no slouch on offense. They had some amazing offensive players. They're one of the best offensive teams in the country going into that game. It was kind of unbelievable. But yeah, I think we're setting ourselves up for a all-time national championship game on Monday between Purdue and UConn. And UConn's big man is one of those people that can actually maybe guard Edey. So that'll be, maybe we'll see that matchup. I don't really want either of those teams to win, but they're probably the two best.
Neither do I. If I had to choose a team, obviously I want the Cinderella story, but Alabama. If I had to choose one of the teams, it's Alabama. You know, everybody thinks they're obviously big on football, but basketball, I think they're very slept on. They've been in the tournament a good amount of times in the past years, and to make it to the Final Four, that's big. That's big for the Alabama basketball program.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I also think that I was going to bring this up, and then we'll move on to our next segment. I saw a crazy stat today from one Jay Kuda. I don't know if you're familiar with that account on Twitter. A lot of MLB stats, like crazy stats and random stats, stuff like that.
Yep.
Quick plug for him. If you ever see this, you're welcome.
Shout out, Jay.
I saw a thing today that said that 13 of the last 14 March Madness tournament winners scored an odd number of points in their first round game.
Wow.
And Alabama and UConn are the only two teams out of the Final Four to do that this year. They play each other in the first Final Four game. So if history is, keeping on this pattern, we should be looking at Alabama or UConn being the one that lifts the trophy come Monday night, winner of that game. But I mean, what a ridiculous stat. But it's one of those things where it's ridiculous, but then it keeps happening, and then it's like, is it so ridiculous? Like those weird stats kind of are creepy sometimes. So you never really know.
Absolutely. Just before we move off of the March Madness, this is where I want to bring something up to you. I know this will hit home for you a little bit. Iowa, they played. Who did they play?
LSU.
This past week. LSU, yes, in Albany, in our hometown of Albany.
Yep, hometown.
This is actually crazy. I didn't see this hear it while watching the game at all. But I was reminded by a customer at work today that a ESPN broadcaster dissed the Albany area on live.
I saw a tweet about it actually.
Yep.
I didn't see what she said or hear what she said, but I saw someone saying that she did do that.
Her name is Rebecca Lobo. Rebecca Lobo, and they were talking about how Caitlin Clark was telling her family before the game. They were like, "What do you want to do before the game?" She was like, "Just go find something to do in Albany, and I just want to stay in the room before the game and just mentally prepare." And the broadcaster went out to say, "There's not a lot to do in Albany at all," and then chuckled like a uppity. Yes, this is exactly. Thank you for people in the back. And it's created quite a bit of an uproar in the Albany area already in just the one day.
I mean, listen, Rebecca. Rebecca, yeah. That's what you call it?
Rebecca Lobo.
Yeah, Rebecca. Becky? I'll call you Becky.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that, Albany is the greatest city, in the world, nor is it even the greatest city in its own state, even though it's the capital. But just let it be. Just let it be. Yeah. I don't know what we did to you except host a fantastic women's college basketball game that I think I saw today had the most viewership of any women's college basketball game ever. So it's one of those things where it's like, look, I mean, Albany, yeah, there's a shot of Albany from after it's gone through a couple of remodeling cycles, but yeah. I mean, look. The bars, they're okay. They're not great, but they're fine. You can have a good time. There's a couple places to eat. So you can just go to the underrated Museum of Natural, or what is it called? The History Museum? I don't know. It's not.
Yeah, it's got a lot of. I don't even quite know either, but
it's like the New York State Museum. I think it's just called.
Yeah, I think it is. Yes.
Yeah, it has science exhibits. It has history exhibits. It's underrated. It's a nice little spot. Yeah.
Here it is. It's a great museum, and there are many times.
They have an incredible, and I'm once again plugged to these guys. Check it out if you're in New York. They have an unbelievable exhibit on some of the stuff from the tragic attacks of September 11th. They have some unbelievable stuff from that that's just breathtaking and emotional, but an amazing exhibit nonetheless. They have some very cool Native American exhibits that kind of talk about and show some of the history of the state of New York in that aspect, and also things of all shapes and sizes. They have some cool animal exhibits. Yeah, here's some of the 9/11 stuff. just unbelievable. And they also have some nice rocks and minerals. So yeah, check it out if you're ever in Albany. So there's stuff to do. I'm not saying it's the best thing to do, but I mean, hey,
There's things to do.
and don't get me wrong. I don't want to be associated with Becky at all in saying any city's trash. There's a lot of cities that have a lot to offer, but the Final Four is in Cleveland.
Right.
Like for the women, it's like
Right.
come on, like
Thank you.
I'm not saying Cleveland's not better than Albany. It very well could be. I've only been to Cleveland like once or twice, but I mean, it's not like we're not going from Albany to Pasadena here. You know what I mean? Let's take it easy on the cities that are hosting the women's college tournament. So shout out to Albany for doing that. Shout out to what's it called now? It's not called Times Union anymore.
It is the MVP Arena.
MVP Arena. Shout out the MVP Arena. Shout out the Times Union. Shout out whatever it used to be called before that. Decent little arena. I used to go to my Albany River Rats AHL hockey games there with my friend Obi a lot.
Absolutely.
But yeah, great arena. Great arena. So yeah.
Also shout out to our mayor, Kathy Sheehan, who dissed Lobo on Twitter. Tell her she will bring her on a guided tour and tell her exactly what we have to offer. So Lobo, if you're listening, take that.
Yeah, shout out Kathy. I mean, that's a power move there, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the people in power in the area sticking up for what we got over there. I mean, we're just outside Albany in a little suburb, but very, very, very close to all the action that was being talked about and dissed. Yeah, I mean, let's keep our words to ourselves. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
And I couldn't believe what I was hearing from the customer who was across from me at Marshall's today. I was like, I didn't catch any of that last night. Looked it up. There it was.
Yeah.
Video and all.
Apparently. So yeah, that's unbelievable. I did hear something. I did see something about that. I didn't hear what it was. So thank you for bringing that up to me. I had no idea what it said.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. So we'll move on to our second to last segment, another little draft that we got going here, and then we'll take some questions that we have from the fans. By the way, I mean, this is something I was thinking about today. Like the questions, we're going to be doing questions at the end of every show. We'll have a way that we'll share with you guys how we'll get those out to you so you can submit your questions. We'll answer. But yeah, I mean, we got like, it's hard with a fifth corner pod. I don't know if there's any little like, you know, cheeky nickname we can give to our fans. Like I know, shout out the Bread Basket Boys. Great podcast that we both love listening to. They have the breadsticks are their fans. That's very cool.
Yes.
But no, I mean, I don't know if we'll have any cheeky names like that for something like the fifth corner. You know, I don't want to go as far as to say let's take some questions from the streets because
no.
But
I am proud to be a breadstick. Shout out that pod.
Yeah,
great guys.
Definitely. See, that's the thing. It's just because we have a podcast doesn't mean we're not huge fans of other podcasts. You know, I mean, we gotta support each other, and then people like Bread Basket, people like the Basement Yard, some great podcasts that we definitely look to for some inspiration and stuff like that sometimes too. So we'll move on before our questions to the draft we have. You might have seen something like this before on your For You page on TikTok or on YouTube or something like that. But basically, me and Obi are gonna have $15 each in our own fake bank account. Mm-hmm. What's gonna happen is there's gonna be trios. Trios is the kind of the name of the game here, the category topic, if you will. And there's going to be trios, 3 trios listed as $5, 3 trios listed as $4, 3, 2, and 1. Famous trios, and we're going to have $15 to make a team, going back and forth in a little draft format. I went first. Actually, before I do that, for our audio only listeners,
I was going to say,
I want to kind of give you the lowdown of what's in each category. So, like I said, it is trios. In our top category, which would be worth $5, the most on the list, we have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. A very incredibly important entry into our nation's declaration. We have all the states of matter, solid, liquid, and gas. Incredibly important, absolutely vital. And then we have a sports trio, very famous sports trio, the Chicago Bulls, 6 titles. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman. That's in the 5 category. In the 4 category, we got the good old trusty spoon, fork, and knife. Can't go without them. We got the 3, poster child ice cream flavors in vanilla, chocolate, strawberry. We got the boys over in Bikini Bottom. We got Sponge, Pat, and Squid. I received there's a lot of pushback on Pat and Squid in there, but look, I mean, Sponge and Pat are definitely the duo, no doubt about it. But I mean, Squid was right between them, very important character. So can't overlook him. In in the $3 column or $3 row, sorry, we got a soccer trio that completely changed the sport in Suarez, Neymar, and Messi over on Barcelona. We
Wow,
have
they insane.
we have rock paper scissors for that fun little game you play all the time when you're trying to break a tie and whatnot. We got the Wizards. We got the Wizards over in Harry Potter world with Ron, Harry, and Hermione.
Yep.
In the two slot, we got a group of singers. We got a bunch of singers today. We got the furry friends over Alvin and the Chipmunks with Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. We have the Migos. Rest in peace. Of course. Wow.
Take off.
Take
Yep.
Off. That's what I thought. Yeah. Rest in peace to Take Off. Incredible artist. But yeah, Three Migos, great group. And then the Jonas Brothers, been around for a while, still releasing music today in the two slot. And then down in the ones, we have the Powerpuff Girls, classic Cartoon Network show. Got the Three Musketeers, kind of just the idea of the Three Musketeers. And then we have a bacon, egg, and cheese. Bacon, egg, and cheese. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. I went first in the last one, so Obi, take it away here. Which one are you grabbing first?
This might shock a few people, but I'm gonna dip into the fours with my first pick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take those boys out of Bikini Bottom. I'm gonna go with Sponge, Pat, and Squid. People don't like to think that they're three best friends because of Squidward not liking them. There are three best friends.
Yeah.
Every day, SpongeBob's looking to see what Squid's doing. Squid might not like it, but he cares about Sponge. He really does.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that's great value. I don't need to go right into the fives right away, but I think if I didn't pick them there, you could have possibly got them. So I'm going to take the boys out of Bikini.
No, I do like that pick. I do. I'm actually going to go to the fives with my first pick just because I keep looking at it and I keep thinking about it and I have to have it on my team. Give me the three states that matter. Give me solid liquid gas. I mean, just think about it for a second. Like, what if water was just ice? There was no such thing. You know what I mean? And then oxygen, air we breathe. Like just the gases in the air and whatnot. I think those three states that matter. I mean, you just have to have it. It's just
absolutely.
It's just a person that I want in my locker room. I want leading the charge every night. He is not only going to be able to score 25 a night, but he's going to be able to dish the rock around. He's got many aspects to his game. So I'm gonna take solid liquid gas, states that matter, as my first pick, and that's gonna take me down a little bit to $10 for the rest. But I need it on my team.
Yeah, that's a great pick though. You can't be mad at it. For the fives, that is a great pick. I'm actually gonna stay away from the fives again because I don't think you're gonna go back-to-back fives and have to have only $5 remaining. So I'm gonna dip down to the threes. And I'm going to take probably the best trio in soccer history. I'm going to go with Neymar, Suarez, and Messi. Yeah.
Yeah, I did want that. Yeah.
I know you did. And what they did on the pitch, they were unbelievable. And I think they were the actual squad that got me into knowing anything about soccer at all. I wasn't a big fan. Actually, meeting you got me a little bit into soccer, and these guys were killing it back when I first started watching. So I'm going to have to take that with the $3 pick.
Unbelievable. Yeah, they were absolutely incredible. Great pick there, the $3, great value. I am going to $7 in. I don't think you're gonna take it. So I'm gonna change my strategy here a little bit.
Okay.
I'm actually going to try to take someone away from you. I'm gonna dip into the ones actually.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take the bacon, egg, and cheese. I like bacon, egg, and cheese a lot, and I know what people are thinking, and even I've thought this in the past. Sausage, egg, and cheese. Is it as good? It's possible. I think maybe, but
I think it could be.
There is just something when it's good bacon, it's not close. You know what I mean? The only knock on the BEC is, hey, let's. Like if there's not good bacon, if it's a little stringy or not cooked properly, then maybe the sausage can step in there and play a role. But when it's good bacon, it's really, really hard to beat that bacon, egg, and cheese. So yeah, I'm gonna take the bacon, egg, and cheese for the $1 and try to kind of work my way around taking some things from you that I think you might want.
Yeah, that's a great pick, Gabe. Because I was also gonna dip down to the ones on that pick and get the bacon, egg, and cheese. This pick's gonna be tough for me now because I still don't think you're gonna go fives with any of your remaining picks. So I can keep that up there. I want to choose something that I can get from you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go with another classic staple of a trio. I'm gonna go into the $3 section again and go with the rock paper scissors. I'm gonna
Yeah.
take the rock paper scissors. It's probably one of the best games you can play with your hands, I guess. Strictly your hands. No,
Oh yeah.
it determines a lot of decisions. A lot of tiebreakers go to the RPS.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Rock's parents would be happy about that. They definitely wanted to see him get picked today. They've been
Oh, they did.
working really hard. So yeah, Rock's parents are gonna be happy about that. No, it's a good pick. It's a good pick. Wow. All right. So you have 2 threes. So that leaves you with $5 left for your last 2 picks. If my math is correct, gives me a little room up top to be able to splurge a little bit, if you will. So I'm gonna stay a little down low here. You may be surprised by this pick, but I'm a fan. I'm gonna dip into the twos real quick, really quick. I'm gonna dip into the twos. I'm gonna take a group that's been doing it for a long time and doing it at a high level.
Yep.
I'm gonna take the Jonas Brothers. I'm gonna
Okay.
take the Jonas Brothers. I am a huge Jonas Brothers fan. I'm not gonna lie to you. They still make some great music. Nick Jonas, amazing singer. I'm a Jonas Brothers stan. Believe me. And Burning Up. They got SOS. They got Love Bug. In their old times, they got some bangers recently as well. So I'm a Jonas Brothers guy. I think they're doing great work in the pop industry. So I'm gonna take them off the board here, and leave myself with a pretty healthy $7 for my last 2 picks.
Yeah, you're healthy in the $7 left. I didn't anticipate that coming from you. Might leave you. I might take something from you, or am I just gonna work on my own draft here? I think I'm gonna just stay in my own lane. I'm gonna take fork knife spoon out of the 4 section.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
gonna
was
take
thinking
fork knife spoon.
I was
Yeah,
really
that's a staple
yeah.
in the world. I mean, you're eating. What are you eating it with? Fork, spoon. You cutting it with a knife. You need all 3 of those. I mean, the spork was a great addition to the cutlery field. But those 3 are the main players.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
and getting it at the 4, I honestly thought it could have been a 5 category. I thought it could have been. Seeing it in the 4 caught my eye right away. So I'm gonna have to take that.
Yeah, I got some pretty nasty calls from Fork Knife and Spoon's team when they found out they were going to the 4s. They were very unhappy.
I'm sure they probably didn't like that at all.
Yeah. The group they actually wanted to bump out of that spot is where I'm going to go with my pick here in the 4 slot. I'm going to go up to the 5s. They got 6 rings together. Maybe the greatest trio in NBA history probably is. I'm going to go to the Chicago Bulls with Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman. I mean, what a dynasty. I mean, something that we thought we may see again. We really haven't quite seen anything like that. And really in sport to be. I mean, the Patriots in terms of you go to football close, but even that is 6 championships. It's just in very quick succession with a break in between for Jordan. It's just it's a really incredible feat. And so I'm gonna go to the 5s and grab them.
Yeah, that's a great pick, especially because nobody's been able to repeat what they did. I mean, we've seen the big 3 a lot since they've came through too. We had KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen in Boston. We had LeBron, Bosh, Wade, who did pretty well, but they 2 for 4. I mean, they should have won all 4. They were an absolute train.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it even recently with James Harden, Kyrie, and KD teaming up in Brooklyn, and they couldn't do anything. They couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So that is a great pick out of the 5s. That is a great pick. And now I'm a little bit nervous because I know I have to dip down to the 1s. But it's a staple, and I think I say this almost every time I'm with 2 other buddies. I'm gonna go to the 3 Musketeers. I think they're just, they're just 3 guys doing what they're there to do, and they're having fun doing it. I think almost every time I'm hanging out with 2 other guys, the 3 Musketeers have come up in my words. I mention it every time. So if I didn't take him, I didn't want to leave him on the board. I didn't know if you were going to take him. He probably would have got pretty mad at me if I didn't take them. So I'm going to have to take them over the Powerpuff Girls.
Dude, I get it. I absolutely get it. And that's it. And also a very underrated nickname to call you and your two other friends out of the town. So, yeah, I like your draft. For my last pick, I have $2 left. So I'm going to I've taken 2 5s, took a 1. Now I'm going to finish my draft with second 2 to round out my my $15. It's it's really tough.
This is tough.
I'm gonna go to the Chipmunks. I'm
okay. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the right pick. I think that is the right pick.
I do love all those groups. And it has absolutely nothing against Migos. Incredible hip hop rap group. But I'm gonna go to the Chipmunks. Because I mean, talk about changing the game. We got animals that can sing. I mean, I don't really know if there's anything else I even need to say about that. And shout out my boy Dave Seville.
Yeah, for bringing those guys in.
Yeah, bringing those guys together, leading the chord, writing those songs. Christmas time is here, time for joy and cheer. Unbelievable song, Alvin with the hula hoop. It's incredible. Group.
Yeah, there's something special,
And you know what? I'm gonna say I did sign an NDA, but I'm gonna say it. Screw you, Uncle Ian. Uncle Ian, just
absolutely.
Terrible guy. Trying to take those chipmunks and use them for his own gain.
Yeah,
not a good guy. And they got the Squeakquel, they got Chipwrecked. They're a group that's excelled.
They got the TV shows, they got old TV shows, they got new TV shows.
They're a group that's not only excelled on the stage, but in the industry of TV and acting and movies and just a great group. So that's
and nothing against the Migos. Nothing against them.
Not at all. Great group, unbelievable.
But those furry fellas, they're
So
they're always at the top of their game.
Oh, absolutely. So just to recap the draft for the audio people, I have for my draft spent $15. So did Obi. I have the States That Matter, Charlotte Gas. I have the Jordan Pippen, Robin Bulls. I have the Jonas Brothers. I have Alvin and the Chipmunks, and I have Bacon, Egg, and Cheese. Obi, recap your draft.
My draft. I like my draft. I really do. Didn't go any 5s. I went strictly in the middle with the classic trios. I went first off the board was the Bikini Bottom trio of Sponge, Pat, and Squid. Then I went with Rock, Paper, Scissors. Then I took Fork, Knife, and Spoon. Got Neymar, Messi, and Suarez.
Yep.
Couldn't believe I got those. Really happy I got those guys.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I took the Three Musketeers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I'm happy about my draft. I think it's a great draft. No 5s needed. And I think it's just a solid squad.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know, you guys, who you think won. We will get a little more organized with how we can do that in the future. But for those listening to this one, let us know who won on our socials or over in the iMessage if you are closer with us.
Yes.
But yeah, that's what we got right now. And then we're gonna take some questions. But shout out to the undrafted team in that realm. They worked hard all year, and it's not their fault. The undrafted team was life, literally, pursuit of happiness. I mean, can't go wrong with that. We had the ice cream trio of vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry undrafted. We had those people over at Hogwarts undrafted as well.
I'm surprised they went undrafted too.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about that. I just didn't have the funds when it all came down there.
Yeah, I couldn't take them.
The Migos and those Powerpuff Girls, they are special, and they have that little flag football tournament named after them. So, very, very, very good undrafted team as well. Everyone, thanks for coming out to try out. I wish we could take all of you, but we only had
we only had 1 for 10.
Yeah. So, all right. So yeah, we're gonna take some questions. We don't really have a cheeky little game for our fans, but we'll come up with one. We'll think of it. We can. That's another thing we can kind of develop as we get further into this process. But do you have anything on your end? I have a couple questions here from some fans. If you don't have anything, I can start firing them off.
I have one from a Jerry in Albany.
Gotcha.
He said,
"Hey Jerry,
name a sport, the hardest or the easiest sport that you could beat the world's best 8-year-old in."
Okay, so
something to think about.
We can do hardest easiest here. So
yeah, we can do both. We can do both.
Did he clarify in the question if any sport is available or just the major kind of?
We could decide it right now. He did say an Olympic event or Olympic sport, but if you want, we can do any sport.
I think I will say Olympic sport does. There's so many of them, and there's probably some that are, ones we're not even thinking of that maybe would be easy hard. So let's just do some like sports that people would normally play. Like,
Okay.
so we got your soccer's, your baseballs, basketballs, hockey, football, lacrosse, swimming, like stuff like that, tennis, like just like kind of general major ones, not like billiards or darts. You know what I mean? Let's
Correct.
get down to the nitty gritty here. So I'll go first. I think the hardest would be the best 8-year-old in the world. Actually, let's assume your soccer. Like the team sports are a little weird because it's like
Yes.
so maybe we have to think about individually. Like if you're just playing them one on one. So I'm gonna say. I mean, I'm not gonna say hockey because I can't skate very well, so I'm gonna stay away from that because that does seem a little unfair. A sport that I could play that I think would be hard to beat someone, the best 8-year-old in the world in, would probably be. Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna go with. Ooh, geez. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with table tennis. I think
Okay. Yeah.
I think. I mean, I'm not even a bad table tennis player, but I think that kind of takes out a lot of the physical like aspects of it, where I can't just toss them around like if it was football.
Yeah.
Or if it's soccer or basketball, they might be amazing at it, but I might just simply be faster because I am older and stronger and more developed. Table tennis, it's kind of in small confines. I'm not bad. I'm not a bad ping pong player, but
No.
they start spinning that ball and they start they don't
If
have
they're
to
the
move.
world's best 8-year-old,
Yeah, they don't
getting
have to
smoked.
move. They don't have to
Yeah, I'm getting
move
smoked.
in the confines of that space too much, to be a good player. So I think that would be the hardest for me to beat someone at. Easiest, I think we just talked about it. I don't really know what this would look like, but maybe like an Oklahoma drill of sorts. I think it would be pretty easy to beat the world best 8-year-old in a game of tackle football in the yard if I was guarding them. And they
Yeah.
were guarding me. And look, they might be able to catch the ball unlike anything I've ever seen. They might be able to throw the ball a mile. But when push comes to shove, literally, I think I would absolutely rock that son of a
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah. A little 8-year-old coming at you, 6 feet apart. Yeah. You're putting that kid in the dirt. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I would hope
there's
so. And if I
no ifs,
wasn't,
ands, or buts about it.
you wouldn't be seeing a lot of me around around town. I would probably be staying, keeping to myself, if that was the case. So that would be
Yeah.
probably mine. What do you got?
Personally, and I'm not going just for me. I'm just going if you're good at the sport or anything. I think the hardest, it came to mind actually when you said table tennis, because then it just made me think of like individual sports and what physicality doesn't really have much to do with it. But I'm gonna go with fencing. Fencing might be the hard if he is the best 8-year-old fencer. I mean, I'm not good at fencing either way, but if he's the best, I'm not scoring a point, and he's parrying me. He's getting me right in the goddamn chest, and I'm done.
That is very,
I'm
very
done.
true. Yeah.
The easiest, yeah, anything physical, really. I did like the variation of the Oklahoma drill being brought in. Not just basic football, because I think, honestly, if he had open space, if he's the best 8-year-old, he's got to have some speed. He could just go right
Yeah,
down.
that's probably true.
But if we're between two bags and it's 6 feet between us and we have to hit each other, yeah, I think the 8-year-old would probably end up 6 feet under the ground.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's going to make it through.
No, I agree. I totally agree. Have you ever seen Friday Night Tykes, the show?
Yeah, I think I saw it with you.
Oh yeah, it's a good show. Yeah, very similar for that. Thanks, team, for pulling that up. Yeah, that show. I mean, I don't know if they're 8. They might be a little older. They might be like 11. But those kids are pretty good. I do think I would excel. I do think I would excel in that league, especially as a wideout. They just throw it up. But those kids are good. I mean, I don't. 8 seems a little young though for football.
Yeah, 8 for sure. I mean, I can't. When you're 8 years old, you can't be more than 4 feet tall, right? Like,
I don't know.
If you are, you're tall. You're a tall 8-year-old if you're 4 feet.
How much weight can you really put on?
Exactly. You're not.
This show was really good. It's a Texas Youth Football League show. I
Wow.
hope that guy's not 8 because that's a big guy. But
Yeah, if he's 8, I might not win that battle,
yeah,
actually.
I don't think I think they're in like middle school. I think they're like
Yeah, I
11.
agree. I think they were like 11, 12, maybe 13.
That's a big,
That guy might be 25 years old. That guy might be
that's
25 years
That is
old.
that is a big boy. For those on audio only, I'm watching a presumably guy somewhere between the ages of 10 and 12 years old, absolutely like just ragdolling a young gentleman on the other team.
Fumbling.
Big,
Yeah,
big
that
guy.
kid's not getting up. He's not up.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. So yeah, but I do think that answer is something that I'll stick with here. So last couple of questions, and then we'll be signing off for tonight. So we don't have to name any names here specifically. Well, the question I can give you the name. It's from a Michael from Boston. We have a question. We don't have to name any names specifically in the question, but I thought it was interesting. Would you rather have Antonio Brown as the U.S. president right now,
Good
or the stupidest person that you can think of that you've met in your life?
God. Okay.
We don't
Um,
have to name any names, of course,
yeah,
but
no, no. I wouldn't throw this person under the bus, but I got a name in my head. Absolutely.
Mm.
Um, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna let him run it. I'm gonna let my buddy run it.
Yeah,
Um, he's probably the stupidest person I've ever met in my life, and bad decisions. But with Antonio Brown in there, we're done.
yeah.
Maybe,
I mean, he ran the old Albany Empire in the ground, like our
yeah,
dream.
yeah. Just ruined that. Just ruined that
That's on a
franchise.
very low scale. That's hard to do. When you're talking about the country or the free world, it's you got a pretty heavy weight in your shoulder. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
he's gonna be able to.
a buddy of mine. He might be coming than a box of rocks, but I think he can make one good decision, which I don't think AB would be able to do.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. Jeez, I'm really struggling as well. I think I'm actually gonna go with the stupidest person I know as well. I honestly
Mhm.
think it's got to the point where it's not even. I mean, it's definitely not wittiness and intellect that AB is oozing with. He's definitely a stupid person.
Yeah.
But that being said, I don't even think it's that as much as it's just the immaturity and the lack of filter, for lack of a better term here. That's the bigger problem for me. It's just like the hits that he's taken over the years have really just hindered his ability to make any sort of rational thought.
Mhm.
Um, and we even with the stupidest person I've ever met, we may be losing some points on the IQ side of things, but at least they have at least they have at least they have some semblance of moral judgment. I feel like, which is important when you're in that status. So yeah, let's run it with the person I know.
Yeah.
We got
A
another question here.
question for you actually on that. Is the dumbest
Yeah.
person you know, is that a buddy of yours or just somebody you know?
It's kind of I wouldn't call him a buddy. It's someone I've known, as
Okay.
someone I've come across in my life. I wouldn't
Sure.
call them a friend, but I definitely know them enough to know that it would be the person I would select for this question.
Mhm. Yeah.
So we have another question coming in. It's a question that pertains to our home life, growing up. Um, do you think you have better memories overall from Dead Man's Hill or the Clip?
Okay. So for our viewers listening, these are both spots in the woods that we would party in when we were high schoolers.
Mhm.
Both very well known amongst the town and our high school.
Yeah.
Me personally, I have a couple bad memories at both places.
Yeah.
Many good memories at both as well.
Naturally.
Um, I'm personally gonna have to go Clit. I was there more, a lot
Mm.
more attendance from me at the Clit than Dead Man's. Just either I was out of town at Dead Man's whenever that was going on. Just I've probably only been there a handful of times when an actual big thing was going down. And one
Right.
of those is when one of our friends took a plunge from a very high height, and it scared the living
Yeah,
daylights out of me.
I do remember that. What was that, sophomore year? Yeah, I think it was
Yeah, it was early. It was early. It was just a scary moment, and I
oh,
remember.
definitely. World stopped for a second.
Oh yeah, and I was like, maybe we don't do this anymore in the woods. But
Oh yeah.
thank God he was okay. Nothing was wrong. No broken bones. No nothing, and we continued to have
Miraculous.
a great time.
Yeah, miraculously, I might add that he was okay.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, I think for me, I am gonna oppose you here and go over to Dead Man's. I there's a couple reasons for that. One, it was I mean both were pretty close to my house, fortunately, so I didn't have to
Mhm.
trek too far when I was in high school to either spot. Um, if you asked me this pre-COVID, like actually when I was in high school, it would 100% be Clit. But I had some amazing, amazing times during the summer of 2020 when we were responsibly socially distancing in some capacity, maybe
Mhm.
up on Dead Man's in the beauty of the outdoors, under the stars, on the power line. You climb up that hill. It's a hike, but you get up there. There's some couches, some recliners, something that the Cliff did not have that you could sit on, hang out with your friends, enjoy a couple of cold beverages of sorts, and yeah, just really enjoy yourself. And that was a staple during the summer of 2020 when we really couldn't hang out inside, so we'd spend some nights up there, and that was an important part of my COVID memories and stuff like that. Even during a very tough time, we tried to make the most of it. So I would go over to Dead Man's Hill for this one
Mhm.
out of the two, but it's a really close call. I think, like I said, that was more of a 2020 thing, but enough to take it kind of over the top for me. In terms of which one I may enjoy a little bit better.
Yeah.
So
Actually, sad story. Neither of those places I hear are still alive in the high school.
yeah, I've heard something similar. I obviously haven't seen it for myself, but yeah, I have heard something similar. Great spots. They ran their course.
Yep. Sad the legacy wasn't continued all the way. I mean, our alma mater did get a little downgrade when some of the people left after us.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Absolutely. But all right. So, I mean, look, that was a couple questions tonight. We'll get some more questions in the coming episodes. That's the first one. I know we've taken a bunch of you guys' time tonight, but typically we'll be sitting around the hour mark for these. This might have gone a little over. It's the first episode. We wanted to get to know you guys. You guys get to know us a little better.
yep.
We're super, super excited for what's to come. This was a great first episode and a great jumping off point for where we're going to be going. So, follow me at GabeCap _ on social media on Instagram. And Obi, you can plug your Instagram if you want right now.
Yeah. Real.obi, REAL.OB.
Yep, and that's Gabe K.
Follow me on Instagram, please.
Yeah, it's Gabe KAP _. We will plug. We'll have a link tree set up soon where we can plug our the links to our Spotify podcast, which this will be going up on, and then we'll also post this on YouTube for our visual and audio viewers. We'll have a link tree up, but it's going to be under Fifth Corner Pod or something something along those lines. Trip myself up here at the end, but yeah. So that should do it. Thanks to big thank you again to the people in the booth helping us out with the visuals tonight and getting this whole thing set up for us with the beautiful layout of our broadcast. It means the world. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. We'll have some guests coming on in episodes to come. That some will be our friends, some will be people we know in the community that we think would be good to bring on. So yeah, that should wrap it up for episode 1 here of the Fifth Corner Pod. Hopefully a May to come. Hopefully we build a great following and can't wait to see you guys next time. All right, signing off. Thank you guys again.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone who listened.